welcome back. So today we're talking about a friend that sticks closer than a brother. Proverbs 18:24 says, "A man that hath friends must show himself friendly, and there is a friend that sticks closer than a brother." When I looked at the notes on that verse, the notes of the part that says, "A man that hath friends must show himself friendly," says one must choose friends carefully. And then the part that says, "A friend that sticks closer than a brother," says, "Two true friends do not turn away in tough times. It is better to have a true friend than many false friends." When our boys were in school, there was a group of boys that they all played ball together, they hung out together, they lived at our house. And I've said before, when you have kids, they come with a lot of other kids. So you don't just have the ones that live in your home, you have everyone else too. We might come home to a group of boys waiting for food, resting between practices or games. You never know who is going to be at your house. I loved having all of these boys at the house, and there was never a dull moment. One of my favorite memories was on a Thursday night during football season. They all showed up at the house after their pregame meal. I assumed, since they had eaten at school, yes, the boosters are going to feed them tonight, and I know they're all coming to the house, I won't have to feed them. So I just prepared snacks and that kind of thing. Yeah, I was wrong. They wanted to eat again. So I think we might have scrounged up some pizza. They all laid out in the living room, watched TV, ate, snacked, and then they all spent the night. Then on Friday night, they won the first game. Little did I know, after they won that first game, that the Thursday night of them coming and eating and spending the night would become a ritual. It became a ritual, and since they won, we had to have the same food, the same snacks, and they all had to sleep in the same places. It was serious business. We had a football season on the line. We had to leave nothing to chance. We wanted to win. So that Thursday night is when this ritual was born, and it went on for 2 years until they graduated. The season that that season they would go on to win every game and go on to the playoffs. So I'm remembering that most this weekend, because we learned Thursday that one of the boys had passed away, and my mama heart was broken. Kenyatta was the sweetest and the kindest young man. He was always smiling, he was always polite, and he was the younger one of the bunch, and his name's Kenyatta Roach, so he's the baby of the bunch, so sometimes he was called Baby Roach. That's just what we called him sometimes. And of course, since he was the younger one of the bunch, they would pick on him. He just took it in stride, and he would smile. He would occasionally give it right back to him, but he was a champ. He just took it and ran with it. So that Thursday night, when they all picked their sleeping spots, we didn't know that Kenyatta's spot was the coldest spot in the house, so he shivered all night. And so once this ritual was born, that's where he had to sleep. That was his assigned spot to sleep. So I might have slipped him an extra blanket or turned the air up a little so that he wouldn't freeze all night, the rest of the season. I wasn't gonna let the baby freeze. I just wasn't. But these boys were always there for each other, even after the years have passed and they've all started their own careers, their own families. They all know that each one of them is only a phone call or text away. That's what this verse reminds me of them, because they are brothers that stick together, and they're there for each other no matter what, no matter when. It doesn't even matter. You know, they loved each other like brothers, and I loved watching these boys grow up together. They grew up together from the time they were 5 years old, playing on the baseball field. We spent our summers at the baseball field playing baseball. Then it would move into football season. They would all play football, then basketball season. So they were always together from the time they were 5 till they graduated, and even now. And so they've just always been together. I think it's because they don't know any different, but they developed that bond that just can't be broken. And this is the kind of friendship that we all need to have. These are the kind of relationships that we all should have. And, you know, I loved watching these boys. It didn't matter what they did. If they were playing ball, if they were going to school functions, or, you know, just hanging out in my living room. I just loved watching them. They were good together. The other verse that constantly reminds me of this group of guys is Proverbs 27:17. And it says, iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. They all made each other better. They made each other better athletes, better friends, better brothers, better sons. They made each other better. Were they perfect? No. There was many times I wanted to pinch every one of them's head off. Just clean off their shoulders or something. Pinch your head off one good time. But, you know, we've all made mistakes. They made mistakes. You know, we all have. You know, they all have taken a wrong road or two, and they've all called each other out. They let each other know a few times, you know, what you're doing is not okay. And they listened to each other. They listened to each other. They were there for each other, even if it wasn't what they wanted to hear. Iron sharpeneth iron. So if you know any of these boys, and even if you don't, I ask that you just pray for them. Send them a message, drop a comment in the comments below. Just let them know that you're praying for them and that you're thinking about them. Share a special memory of Kenyatta. He was a sweet kid. He was awesome. We loved him. Let them know that you're there for them. You know, our boys are hurting right now, and they could use it. So you will greatly be missed, Kenyatta, and we are so very thankful for every minute that you spend in our home and in our lives. Iron sharpeneth iron.